Renato Money Moicano, Mr. Money, Mr. I cannot afford to lose. This guy is something, man. I mean, looking back, uh, he hasn't. He's had like a I wouldn't say a great early career. Like it was pretty much checkered. Some losses here, some wins there. 2019 was pretty much a bad year for him, losing to Aldo and the Korean Zombie. But he gradually got better, gradually made more of a name for himself, and he gets better with every fight. This guy is is really hard to find the words for the level of entertainment he brings and the level of hunger he has. I for one doubted him. Especially in his previous fights, especially him coming into the Jalen Turner fight. I thought he was screwed, but somehow this guy finds a way to win. He really, really does find a way to win. And especially in the toughest of situations, he finds it. His grappling is something to behold. Definitely wouldn't consider it boring. Goes for the finish on the ground. His stand-up game, again, I've said this before, it leaves some to be desired. It's not fully there, but it's not terrible either. He can stand and bang and hang with some people. It's not like, again, he's not a sniper or somebody with crazy precision, but he's good on the feet. He's not bad, and he's excellent on the ground. So why am I bringing him up? I'm bringing him up because I recently came across this interview where he mentioned that Justin Gaethje is in his sights. Now, this is the type of energy, focus, and determination and, future sight that you got to have as a great UFC fighter and a great MMA fighter. You're not thinking about, you don't have this mindset where it's, oh, anybody, give me anybody, put anybody in front of me. The only time for you to have that mindset, I think, is when you get the belt. When you don't have the belt and you're on the bottom to middle of the rankings, your sights should be up top. You should be calling up the next top guy, the next up and comer, the guy that's above you. You should be laddering and planning your way to the top. All this laziness and lack of ambition, that doesn't need to be had. You got to shoot for the belt. You got to shoot for up top, because that's what's going to make your career great. That's what's going to make you more money, and that's what's going to establish your legacy. Moicano is doing so. He is looking at the greats. Now, I thought this was lacking because when he beat Benoit Saint-Denis this past weekend, he called out Dan Hooker and Paddy Pimblett. These are okay names. They're not like, again, they're not the top lightweights. They're not, anybody who I feel would directly raise up his legacy or bring him towards the belt. I don't think so. Their names, trust me, their names. Dan Hooker, great fighter. Paddy Pimblett, great fighter. But what really impresses me is that he's already moved past that. This guy is now on interview talking about a Justin Gaethje fight. That is props. That's a round of applause. That's a round of applause worthy type of decision. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at the top now. He's looking towards the belt now. That is what he should be doing, and that is what he is doing. Now, if you had asked me how this fight would go a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago, I would say, I don't think Moicano has a chance. He's not that great on the feet. Justin Gaethje is very powerful on the feet. One clean hit from Gaethje and Moicano's definitely sleeping. I tell you all this other stuff, and I'd probably say I have Gaethje in that fight. I don't anymore. If Moicano is to fight Gaethje, if that fight is actually made, I will be going with Renato Moicano. A, because Gaethje has shown to struggle with grapplers, but B, because Moicano is relentless. I'm thinking of even choosing him against some strikers. You know what I'm saying? This guy, I thought Benoit was going to tear through this guy. I really thought Benoit was going to run through him. Whole God of War stick, very aggressive, stellar striking, strong guy, has a name, going to the top. I thought that's what was going to happen. Benoit sends a head kick up. Renato catches it, pulls Benoit to the ground, and immediate body lock and ground and pound from Renato Moicano for the whole round. What? Renato Moicano, when last were you taking classes in Dagestan? Renato Moicano, have you been secretly having phone calls with Khabib at night? Have you been taking secret flights to Dagestan every weekend? Where's this killer grappling instinct coming from now? I mean, I've seen it in the past though. I don't mean to discredit Moicano and his grappling and everything like that. I don't. He's a stellar grappler, and he's been years ago too, because he's shown this. He's been submitting guys in round 1 and round 2. He's shown this. But in this fight, this guy is scary. Moicano is scary. I have fully asserted myself in this statement after this last fight against Benoit Saint-Denis. This guy is hungry. This guy is skilled. He means business. He rearranged Benoit's face after the first round. I disagree with the stoppage. I think they should have let the fight continue because Benoit was still in it, and he did win the second round. But Moicano had a hell of a first, and he did beat the hell out of Benoit Saint-Denis in the first. I understand that, and with that being noted, a win is a win for Moicano, and it only propels him up forward. And now he's in talks, and he's in groups with the best of the best in the lightweight division. Okay. I know his rankings didn't change, and there's a whole, controversy about that. That's just the whole UFC thing. We all know that Renato Moicano is up there now. We all know it. After beating Benoit Saint-Denis in that fashion, Renato Moicano is up there in the lightweight division, one of the most talked about, one of the most active, and one of the most fun divisions in the UFC. I like this guy. I think he beats Gaethje, and I think I have to wait before I can tell you guys, officially if I think he's going to have a lightweight belt wrapped around his waist anytime soon. Right now, I don't really think so, because we're talking about Islam Makhachev here, you know what I'm saying? And as great as Renato is on the ground, again, he's not that great on the feet. He really isn't. Again, he lost on the feet in the second round against Benoit Saint-Denis after rearranging his face in the first, So I think Renato really has some work to do with his fighting game on the feet, with punches and jabs and counter striking and defense, all that type of shit really needs to be cleaned up. His ground game against stellar. He knows how to bring guys from the feet to the ground now. He's catching kicks. He's shooting for double legs. He's doing a lot of the stuff that I've seen out of Dagestani fighters and the great grapplers of old and great grapplers today. He's doing a lot of that stuff. It's scary stuff. It's effective stuff. It's cool stuff. It's fun stuff. He's making grappling fun, and that's what, a lot of grapplers these days need to continue doing, especially with what I told you about before, with the mixing of the martial arts and all that stuff. It's valid, it's viable, and Renato's making it fun. Anyway, I find myself repeating a lot of different things, but yeah, the main thing about this video is that Renato, in his great wisdom, because this guy is wise, this guy is smart, he's got killer post-fight speeches as well, really, really fun and nice ones, but he's smart, and he's shown that by aiming he's shown that now by aiming for Justin Gaethje. Him versus Justin Gaethje, a great fight. I will be going with Renato for that fight, and if it does get announced, then I'll give you guys a play-by-play and a full analysis. But for now, this is mainly like a praise video to Moicano for what he has done and what he is doing. Let me know what you think. I love you guys. Like, subscribe. See you all in the next.